It was going to be a rise and fall video, but I struggled
to join another one.
Every controversy that he was involved with. And the majority of the fights held no substance to his downfall. So this video will be a downfall video, just focusing on what happened to his channel to get it to this point. Now, his reactions usually go something like this. Maurice claims that he's going to react to the statements in a video that's done on him. Then the whole time, he will be deflecting and blaming someone else for his actions. And from there, he wouldn't take any accountability towards his actions. You'll see this more later on in the video, and it becomes evident just how manipulative PhD can actually be towards his viewers. Now, after the 300 Try Not to Laugh Family Guy Funny Moments video, it starts to get stale, which could be another reason why people won't come back to watch his videos. While other reaction channels exploded in 2020,
you have a fat ass, by the way,
and now I'll bring you into the first
thanks,
controversy
baby.
as to why
Nice
PhD
tits
has fallen
too.
off, taking you all
Thanks.
the way back to 2016. In 2016, Maurice would find himself in a predicament. The woman that he cared so dearly for would end up leaving him in the morning time as soon as he opened his eyes. Dr. Girlfriend would have her bags packed and would tell Maurice that she was breaking up with him because he found out that Maurice was cheating on her with an IT model. At least that's what Maurice says. Maurice would unfriend and fire Chavez after the breakup happened, and things were pretty quiet because the two didn't want to show the audience that they were no longer friends. Throughout 2017,
whatever it takes to search, find and finance, it's easier on Australia's number one address in property.
Maurice would go on live streams and state that Chavez stole money from him and would stir up controversy. Chavez would later respond in a video uploaded in 2018 titled Why Don't Chavez and PhD Hang Out Anymore?, where he would deep dive into the friendship that him and Maurice had and the situation with the whole breakup. A day after this video was uploaded, Skitten would upload her own video titled Skitten Confesses, I Tried to Sleep with My Best Friend's Ex. In this video, we would finally get some much needed answers from Skitten, with a surprise guest being Dr. Girlfriend, that hasn't been on video since breaking up with Maurice back in 2016. This video basically went over what had happened leading up to that point. Dr. Girlfriend said multiple times in the video that it was 2018 and she moved on and Maurice should do the same thing. And even though Maurice didn't respond to both of those videos at that time, he would respond in a later video.
What is the reason that you and PhD broke up? Well, he cheated on me with multiple different women, so how long were you together again? Almost 5 years? And how many of those years was he cheating on? About 3 of those. Oh, 3 you say? And apparently one of those times was with me, if I had my way.
Maurice would finally react to Chavez's video during the summertime of 2021, a whole 3 years later. Maurice would tell us that the reason why he cheated on Dr. Girlfriend was because she was depressed, and she was no longer that supportive rock that had his back through everything. He also stated that she wouldn't have sex with him during this time. This stressed him out, and because she was depressed and wouldn't have sex with him, he had to find someone else who would have sex with him. Maurice would say that Chavez's girlfriend, Skitten, would plant the seeds to Dr. Girlfriend breaking up with him. He would state that Skitten would tell Dr. Girlfriend that he was cheating on her, I guess weeks before he actually was, which supposedly made Dr. Girlfriend depressed. The sad thing from this clip is that Maurice acts like he didn't do anything wrong, putting more of the blame on Skitten for telling his girlfriend that he was cheating on her and not actually taking accountability for actually cheating on his girlfriend. During the story time, he would joke around about cheating on Dr. Girlfriend, and he would correct Chavez in this video and say this.
He didn't cheat on his girlfriend, but he was talking to other women. Dr. Girlfriend found out.
Yeah, I did. I hella cheated. I was fucking the shit out of that girl.
The next couple of minutes of this video would be Maurice airing out Skitten's dirty laundry with no actual evidence, just Maurice's word. To me, it seemed like Maurice was trying to push the blame onto someone else and act as if he was a victim in the situation. Being a YouTuber with a channel with over 1 million subscribers, it was easy for him to put the blame on a smaller content creator with a smaller fan base. His claim was that Skitten did all this to try to have sex with him, which Skitten debunked in 2018. Dr. Girlfriend would also say that the reason why she was depressed was because Maurice wouldn't spend time with her. He would blame it on YouTube, but it's because he was giving his attention to someone else. This whole situation on Maurice's side seemed very petty and weird. This response video took a long time to come out, and
fuck, baby, can you gag me and choke me?
Onto it, and it was hidden behind a paywall. Maurice would also say
Sure,
that he had
baby.
to make multiple parts for his response.
Can I bust a nut in you?
That took years
Sure.
to respond to. Maurice
Cool.
would also state that at a party,
How far do you want my dick to go in you? Stick it all the way in, baby. Cool.
And Skitten would respond by saying that she
No
already
problem at
Dr.
all.
Girlfriend
I
with a
will
couple
stick it all the
guys
way
before.
in.
This new information
My baby.
about Dr.
I
Girlfriend,
know.
I guess, hurt Maurice, even though he is the one that caused the breakup in the first place by cheating on
Just
Dr.
wondering,
Girlfriend.
how many
The
dicks
second
have you
part of
had?
his response was pretty hard to
None.
see through.
You're the
It's the
first.
exact same thing that he was saying in the first video, putting the blame on
Okay.
Skitten, and again,
I
would
just
not
watch
take accountability
porn.
for
That's
his
all I'll
actions.
do.
He would also put the blame
I never
on
had
Chavez
actual
for the friendship
sex.
coming to an end because Chavez recorded their conversation without Maurice knowing. Even Even though
It's
Chavez
embarrassing
said
to
that he
admit it,
accidentally
but
recorded
I'm a
it, making
virgin
Maurice
and I
open
just
his
watch
tags,
porn, that's
he would
all.
also claim that Skitten told him to drink or
Fair
do drugs
enough,
to cope
then.
with the emotions that he had after finding out that his girlfriend
That's
allegedly
how I know
died.
about that
He would
stuff.
paint this picture as if
Cool,
Skitten was
all
telling
good?
him to go unalive himself, which
Well,
I'm
I'll
pretty
teach you
sure
well,
was
trust
the case.
me.
Skitten and Dr.
You're a
Girlfriend
virgin,
are
I'll
best
fucking
friends,
treat
and we
you
would take
well.
the side of a woman in
Thanks.
these types of
You're
situations.
welcome.
And of course, with Skitten telling him to go do drugs or drink, Maurice had to flex his
Oh,
money and
baby.
say that because he had abundance of money, he could unalive
Christy
himself
boo.
with how much drugs he could
I
actually
know.
hold. Looking at the situation as someone that never watched Blasphemous
Baby,
I felt as
love
if he was
you.
making the story up as he went
Love you
along.
too, baby.
And finding those older videos from 2018 that already spoke about what happened makes it seem like Maurice is still hung up on losing his girlfriend and his friends in the process because his pride was too big to take accountability for his actions. Or he just wanted some easy views and traction to his new website, and this was the only situation that he knew could pull in people to his website. Let's actually see how that website is doing today. Well, it looks like it's not doing that great. Happened makes it seem like Maurice is still hung up on losing his girlfriend and his friends in the process because his pride was too big to take accountability for his actions. Or he just wanted some easy views and traction to his new website, and this was the only situation that he knew could pull in people to his website. Let's actually see how that website is doing today. Well, it looks like it's not doing that great. I for sure wasn't going to go into the website after that message, and even in his newer videos, he doesn't even promote it. Next, we have to take a look at the issues that would be brought up by Brandy and Randy. Brandy would come out with a video titled The Truth About Blasphemous HD. This video would dive in and debunk some of the comments that were made by Blasphemous HD. This video would dive in and debunk some of the comments that were made by Maurice and how Brandy was there for some of those situations, and the majority of the time when Maurice would make a story time about a certain situation, it would be filled with lies and other things to make Maurice come out as a good guy. Brandy would also talk about how Maurice changed over the years and how she would feel uncomfortable around him, and this is how a mid-30-year-old man reacts to her statements about feeling uncomfortable around him.
Alright, like, he kind of just took over, and I'm like, okay, I guess we'll do that. So, yeah, when we were doing that, super awkward. I don't know if you guys can tell, like, from the video.
Let's do this. Hurry up, Randy. Mount me. Let's do this. Yes!
Again, this man is damn near 40, just laughing about somebody feeling uncomfortable around him. Maurice would respond to this video pretty much shaking off any criticism thrown his
Let's have
way.
a joint,
He would say that
another
he did
one.
everything for his videos, and that pretty much gave him the right to speak to his friends any way that he wanted to. And he would also say that Brandy was lazy. Brandy would talk about how Maurice purchased alcohol for them when she was underage, but he would clarify and
I'm
say that
fucking
she was
hungry,
18
Tom.
or 19, but it's still
I can
underage
cook you up
for
something
alcohol.
at home
Maurice
at
would
your
end his
house
response video
before we
abruptly
fuck.
after telling a story on how he cheated on
Yes.
his ex-girlfriend before
Cool.
he fucked her girlfriend. Eventually, Brandy would...
Let's pause it. Let's head to the car. This is my car, by the way. Cool. Do you live on your own or with your mum and dad? I live on my own. Fair enough. Okay, get in, Christy. Sure. Let's go. Shit. And then after when I cook you something, let's go outside and go to the desert and chill there, then we'll fuck in the desert. Done. I want you and your dick to teach my virgin temple who's in charge. You and your dick are. Done, baby. Can I call you daddy? Sure, go ahead, Christy. Thanks. You're welcome. You're gonna be my daddy, aren't ya? Yes. I do whatever you say. Good girl. I know what, baby. Baby daddy. Good girl, my little gonna be hoe. Christy. Thanks, daddy. You're welcome. Shit. You go in and cook me a burger, bitch. Then I'll be outside watching YouTube in the backyard, on the balcony, out back, or the porch, or the veranda, whatever you wanna call it. There's many names. It's my crib here, baby. Nice. What the fuck is that kid doing here? Huh? Shit. They almost went over a kid. That wouldn't be nice. Fuck. That wouldn't be nice. Shit, man. I'll be out in the back, will you? Okay, got it? It's the backyard area. Let's chill in the middle, dog, and watch some YouTube. I want to chill in the middle here. Press
Make
play.
a second part to this video. This second part of the video would include Randy, Maurice's ex-best friend and editor. Randy would talk about how Maurice out of nowhere would tell him that he would cut his pay in half. Randy would also talk about how Maurice changed after the whole childless situation and how bringing it up was a stupid idea. One part of the video that I want to focus on is when Randy and Brandy both make allegations towards Maurice for doing some inappropriate shit behind closed doors.
Stop. We're not gonna out what it is
We already did
that you're doing. Okay, you know what we're talking about. Stop.
We're just not confirming.
Stop. Don't do it. No more. And I mean that shit.
Seriously, no, for real.
Because if you go down for this, you gotta understand my channel, like as much as I hate it, is connected to yours. You still upload old videos with me on your channel. So people are gonna think that I'm an accomplice to your shit.
Both basically say that he was having inappropriate interactions with minors, allegedly. It's very hard to feel as if they're lying about
So
this
join.
information. The things that they have to edit out of his videos that were inappropriate, and just things that they saw when the cameras weren't on. Brandy would say that she was 16 when Maurice got the alcohol for them, and she would also say that Maurice was tickling one of the other underage girls that were there, and how he would also flirt with them. She would say, even if it was a joke, it's not a joke that should be made towards minors. Now, after this all came out, it's shone a light on EDP. Oh, fuck. Sorry, I meant Maurice. I mean, how could we deny the allegations from editors that worked with him for years? It makes it even more odd that he never responded to this video, even though he was quick to respond to the first one. Since this video, Maurice has fallen off. Pretty much right after he responded to the first video, his views would go from 100,000 views to below 100,000 views, when before he was constantly hitting over 100,000 views per video. It would get to a point that in February of this year, he would upload a video where he would claim that he wasn't making enough money to keep his channel alive, and now it's taking him a lot longer to upload videos because his internet at his new place isn't great. He would create a GoFundMe with a goal to raise $10,000. In the video, he says that he wants to raise enough money to pay his employees for a year. He also says that YouTube doesn't pay well, but he wasn't saying that when he was having higher video views and calling himself a multimillionaire. He goes on to then say in the description of the GoFundMe that the money that's being raised is to help the animation, and now he's already spent $500,000 of his own money to create this project. He states that his main account got terminated, but that was years ago. This is what we call a scare tactic. YouTubers that have a dying channel always do this. They will upload a video saying that they are going to quit YouTube if they don't get X amount of money. That video will do good in views because people feel bad and want to see what the controversy is about. But then the content creator will still upload after that video as if nothing happened. Sadly, Maurice's channel is dying. His video with Will Smith at the Oscars hasn't even cracked 100,000 views, and that was the biggest video topic this year. And then he has videos like this one, Smash or Pass Pokemon. His channel is confusing as far as content. It's just all over the place. His reactions feel forced and not genuine, and he just can't grasp that same attention that he once had. I think his channel started to die once his friends were no longer in videos, and after all the controversy that happened. This has been the downfall of Blasphemous HDTV 2. So I wanted to talk to the community for a second. I know that I said the Creepshow art video will be out this week before this video, but June ended up creating his own video. Shout outs to him because he did it way quicker than I did. I do have a sponsored video that's coming out either next upload or the upload after that. So depending on the time frame, that video could be coming out in the next 2 weeks or month. I just needed to explain that a lot better because I know I said it in the community tab, but I never really said it in video. Also, we are so close to 100,000 subscribers. So if you are new here and you're not subscribed, and you want to help me get to that sweet spot of 100,000 subscribers, leave a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.
What else should I watch on YouTube, dog?
Hear that? Those are the sounds of getting documents signed fast. 80% faster with a low sign. Send, sign, done. It's the quickest way to get signatures for every type of document.
Coming in at number 10, we have North Korean starvation rumors. None of us really know what's going on in North Korea. We would like to think that we have an idea, but it's all rumors. There are very few people who have been able to escape the struggles of that country, but most of the secrets are well hidden. And while their leader would like to boast like they have a strong economic standing within their walls, there are several stories that say otherwise. One of those stories has been of great famines in impoverished areas. This
Here you
causes
go.
people to
Here's your
chase down
burger.
anything for food.
Thanks,
Because
bitch.
much of the
You're
soil
welcome,
isn't
Daddy.
fertile enough to grow crops,
Good girl.
some people have had to
It's
turn
8. God damn, you know how to cook, Christy. I know. Let's go to the desert now. Done. Good girl. I lock my car. Come on, get in. Let's swap a blunt. Let's go to the desert now. Done. So we're doing the fucking the desert. Anyway, I don't really care where. Fuck yeah. I know. Anywhere will do. Well, fuck that. Ooh, good. We will. Fuck. Oh, bowling pins. What are they doing in the desert? A big giant bowling pins. Don't know. It's weird. What would they be? Here in the desert, yo. I know, right? Why won't this one get knocked down? Where the fuck did they go? Don't know where. Yeah, me either. It's weird, cunt. Now they're back there again. It's fucking weird, dog. I know what, baby daddy? Yes, my baby gonna be whore. Study. Gonna be whore at a study. Yep. Definitely. Let's fuck. This way. Let's chill and fuck. Okay, tunnel. Nice. Let's chill and fuck around here. somewhere. Where should we even fuck? I don't wanna fuck on the ground. So maybe not in the desert, maybe here. Somewhere around here. We will fuck here. At this abandoned beach. No one is gonna be here whatsoever. I know. I can tell this is abandoned. Yep, me too. The shop there is abandoned too. Here is abandoned. Yep. Okay. So go back. Stop the car, yo. I said stop the car, you stupid car. There we are. What's this shop about, I wonder? Okay, it's closed. No wonder it's abandoned, yo. We will fuck. Here. We will fuck right here. Like here, basically. We'll chill here, then we'll fuck on here. Fair enough. I know what. My baby gonna be whore. Christy Boo. Yes, Daddy? Good girl.
Stop
I
from
know.
dying from starvation. There are even rumors that when times get really tough, people will go missing, and some people are turning to cannibalism just so they have something to eat. Next on the list, we have Lean Dirt Hassan Bosch, a Dutch sailor who was kicked off the boat he was stationed at and left to die. He was exiled for sodomy, and he was left on an island alone in the year 1725. He had a diary which was found later, but his body was never found. It would seem that he might have lasted for a year and a half on the island, but struggled to find food. He most likely had to drink turtle blood and his own urine to stay alive. Some think that he might have made it off the island with a passing ship and never told anyone who he was, since the crew would have left him there if they found out that he performed sodomy. It was different back then. People were a lot more close-minded. Next on the list, we have Witold Glinski. When you're on the run from the law during World War II, you better never look back, especially when you're Polish and the law is the Soviet Union. He was imprisoned in a gulag, but he was clever enough to come up with a plan with some of the people that were locked away in there. They figured out how to escape, and they were successful, but that was just where the story starts. They were now in the middle of a frozen wasteland in Siberia, and if anyone found them, they would be executed. It seemed like the military or the cold would kill them, but they weren't about to quit, so they started walking, and they managed to hike all the way through Siberia and make it to the Gobi Desert. They crossed that, and then they made it to the Himalayas, and they crossed those as well to make it into India, which at the time was controlled by the British, so they were now safe. The journey was both dangerous and difficult. They had to suck moss just so they wouldn't die from dehydration. They would catch food here and there, but for most of the venture, they had to go days without food.
Skip.
Hydration. They would catch food here and there, but for most of the venture, they had to go days without food. Next on the list, we have Otakichi. Imagine being 14 and stranded in the ocean. This was the wild story of Otakichi. He was a Japanese teenager working on a boat in the 1800s. It was a transport vessel that would mainly work with rice. Well, one day things didn't go as planned, and the ship got blown off course, and the sails were destroyed. Now these guys had to find some way to live, so they just started eating the rice. How long do you think you could live off of rice? Well, for Otakichi, it was 4 months. Several of the other crewmates died, but this dude kept living. Eventually, they washed washed up on the shore of the Washington Olympic Peninsula, and you would think that they would be saying, "Thank God we are saved." Well, that was before they were taken into slavery by a local tribe. Yeah, things just kept getting worse. They were eventually freed when they were passed on to the Hudson Bay Company. Next on the list, we have Debbie Kiley. Debbie went out on a fishing trip with some friends that went pretty sour pretty fast. The boat ended up flipping, and the crew tried to get a life raft together before the people went down, but they only got it half inflated, so the 5 people left had to hold onto this dinghy, and all of them but Debbie and one other man would die. People became so thirsty that they drank seawater, which caused them to hallucinate from dehydration and drift off into the water. Debbie survived and wrote a couple of books about her experience. Next on the list, we have the Alexanders. Oh, we have more than one family that watched their boat tip over and fill with water. This time we got the Alexanders. For this story, we got to zoom over to the 80s and meet up with a family that wasn't planning on living out at sea, but wanted to go for a nice day of sailing. Well, it turns out that the weather wasn't on their side, and they ended up flipping their boat. This thing sank faster than the Titanic on fast forward, and now both parents and their 2 kids were floating out the ocean. The waters were freezing, and they only had one option. They had to swim, and eventually they made it to an island. The struggle now was that there wasn't anyone else.
No giant.
The family was now forced to survive without any food, so they went hunting and fishing. Luckily, it rained quite a bit while they were on the island, so they had something to drink, but both parents admitted afterwards that they thought they were going to have to watch the other person die, and if it came to that, they thought they might even have to eat them. Next on the list, we have Alexander Selkirk. How long do you think you could last if you were stranded? I don't know how long I would go for. I would think that I would be tough enough to keep myself alive for a little while, but I don't know if I could last as long as this guy. This is the story of Alexander Selkirk. He was a Scottish sailor who was kicked off his ship and left on an island. This was back in the 1700s. So the people on board were sure that they just left him to die. Well, it turns out they were wrong. The dude spent 4 years out there and never wavered. Starvation started to get him, but then he became resourceful and was able to find shellfish to live off of. The sea was providing him with a ton of food, but then sea lions came to the shore and pushed him into the jungle. Now, to make sure he didn't starve, he had to chase down wild goats and milk them. At night, he would be attacked by rats, but he solved the problem by finding wildcats that would hunt around him if he fed them to keep them close. Eventually, he was saved. I wonder if he still ever thought he would be saved after spending 4 years on an island alone. Next on the list, we have Yossi Ginsburg. Formerly in the Israeli army, Yossi wanted to do something amazing with his life. He was 21 years old, and he wanted to trek into the Amazon rainforest and find places that no one had ever been before. He planned on doing this alone, but while traveling, he met 3 other men. 2 of the men were fellow adventurers, and the other was a geologist who knew the land and told them where they could find some small villages within the rainforest. They eventually made it to the Amazon rainforest and stopped at a small village to stock up on supplies and then headed on. After a few days of traveling, it was clear that they were lost, and eventually the truth came out. The geologist who apparently knew the land, he was a con man who had tricked them to explore the jungle with him because he was trying to find a hidden stash of gold to steal from the Amazon people. Well, now none of them knew their way out, and the group parted ways. Yossi and another member of the group jumped on a raft that they made themselves and started to head down a river. The raft broke apart, the 2 men were separated when Yossi went over a waterfall. For the next 3 weeks, Yossi wandered around the rainforest being eaten by bugs and doing whatever he could to survive. He would scavenge for dead animals to eat and steal eggs from nests. Eventually, he was sure that he was going to die when he couldn't walk from the amount of pain in his limbs. Then he was rescued by the very friend that was separated from him on the raft. This guy came back with a boat to find him. The other 2, no one knows what happened to them.
Starting off this countdown, we have the desert.
They probably left him and shot a new wife or dead.
Morello was driving to his home outside of Phoenix, Arizona, when he took a wrong turn. He attempted to make a U-turn and ended up crashing
Or mission,
in a ditch.
whatever
He
the
was
fuck
left
they
there,
are.
stranded with a dead cell phone. For 5 days, Henry waited, hoping someone would come to his rescue. During the cold nights, he would huddle under his floor mats. But it got to the point where he needed something to eat and drink. So he started to drink his windshield washer fluid. Thankfully, a couple of days later, a pair of hikers saw his car and came to his rescue. Now, just because Henry survived off of windshield wiper
It doesn't
fluid
mean you
does not
do.
mean you should go drink it. No,
You
doctors
do.
say he's lucky because it could have killed him. And if you guys are liking this video so far, make sure to give it a big thumbs up because it really helps us out. In our 9th spot, we have
Doesn't mean you do.
Lim was a Chinese sailor on a German U-boat. The ship was completely destroyed, but Poon managed to escape, and he managed to survive 133 days alone in the South Atlantic. It's pretty unbelievable. Poon survived by catching and eating live birds. He would drink their blood to quench his thirst.
I
He
know,
also
right?
used his mineral resources to catch sharks.
Yeah.
He would catch them, then drink the blood from the shark's liver to survive. In the end, he was rescued by some fishermen. After all he had been through for 133 days, he only lost 20
If you know you're
pounds.
not a
So
hoe,
clearly,
you're
he got
gonna be
enough
a hoe.
calories. And at number 8, we have
After
the
100
Grand
pounds, you.
Canyon Adventure. On December 22nd, 2016, a woman named Karen Klein, her husband Eric
I'm gonna
Klein,
make
and
you
her son
crave
were on a
dicks
road trip to the Grand
every
Canyon.
day,
However,
all
their
day.
GPS system was faulty.
Please
Kept
do.
leading them onto closed roads. Evenally, while
I
following
don't want to be a
GPS,
virgin
the car
anymore.
ended up in a
I want to
mud
be a
pit.
daddy
There was
with
no
a
cell
skank
service,
hoe.
so Karen decided to go out for help. But while out, a huge snowstorm hit.
Oh, I
She found
will.
shelter under a spruce tree.
After
Apparently,
when
she
we
kept herself
fuck,
awake
you're
by
gonna all
replaying
be
Star
a
Trek
hoe and I'm
episodes
gonna
in her
be
head.
your
That's just a
pimp.
little fun fact I thought I'd
You're
throw
one
in
of
there.
my
Star Trek
hoes.
literally kept her alive. As Karen continued on, she eventually pulled a groin muscle and lost
One of
shift.
my,
She was
you
cold
are
and
one of,
suffering
well,
from
I'm one of your hoes. How
she
many
ended up
hoes have you
using pine
got?
needles and drinking her urine to survive. 36
I
hours
don't know,
later,
I can't
on
keep
Christmas Eve,
count.
Rangers found
Oh, good.
her. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with the USS Indianapolis. On July 30th,
For blowjob,
1925,
they have
the
to
USS
run
Indianapolis
process.
was
For a second. For blowjob, it'll be $20. Anal, $6. Vagina, pussy, $100. For all, $300. For when you for a night or a year, like for when you for a night, $600. For when you for a week, $900. You get it high until it's a year. Yeah, I got it. Good girl.
struck by 2
Press play
torpedoes.
now.
Within 12 minutes, the boat sunk completely. Now, they didn't have enough lifeboats for all the men on board, so most strapped on a life jacket and then just jumped into the waters. Of the 900 that survived the initial sinking, only 316 made it out of the waters alive. Those that survived shared their story. So according to them, for days they were just floating around at sea. Some were killed by hungry sharks. Others passed away from dehydration. In fact, men were so
So,
desperate
do you smoke
that they
weed?
started drinking the salt
Sure,
water.
I'll
This
try
caused them
it.
to become delirious. Got
Cool.
so bad that the men started to attack
What about
and
smoke?
harm
I'll
each
try
other.
it.
Others
Cool.
would see
Good
things
girl,
in
my
the
horse.
water. They would yell that they saw food in the water. They would then
Here,
swim
let's all
down
join and
and
smoke,
never
then we'll
return.
pop here.
To this day, it's said
Done.
to be one of the worst sea disasters in U.S. naval history. Moving on to number 4, we have the Princess of Wales shipwreck. In 1820, the Princess of Wales ship set out on a seal hunting
Tomorrow,
voyage,
bitch.
but it
I'm
ended
just
badly
sorry.
when the ship crashed in March
Yes, that is
1821 at the
somehow.
Crozet Islands.
You
Now, there was
better
not a lot of
watch your
food on
bitch.
the island to keep the crew alive, so they started killing sea elephants. So according to one of the crewmen, they would wash in the sea elephant's blood. Then they would eat their brains raw. And apparently it tasted sweet like sugar. Yeah, that's what they said. Some managed to survive this accident by strictly eating brains. Moving on to number 3, we have Moro Prosperi. In 1994, 39-year-old Moro Prosperi took place in a 6-day marathon through the Sahara Desert. Every 10 kilometers, there was a refreshment point for the runners to refuel themselves. But on the 4th day, a huge sandstorm struck. Moro was covered by the sand. It was fine though. He freed himself and kept going once the storm was over. Only problem was, he no longer knew which way to go. He ended up traveling 4 hours in the wrong direction. He was running out of supplies when he realized that he was lost. At one point, he found a marabout and stayed there for quite some time. There, he would capture and drink the blood of bats and also drink his own urine to survive. He also did the same to snakes and lizards. He would catch them, drink their blood, and then eat them raw. That is hardcore. Finally, after several days, he was found.
I am Daddy.
Moving on to number
Yes.
2, we have the
You must
expedition.
study
Back in
answer.
1845, Sir John Franklin led 2 ships filled with 129
Coffee, Daddy,
men to
champagne.
explore the Canadian Arctic in
Over to
search
my
of the
baby
Northwest
hole.
Passage. However,
Yeah,
along the
Daddy.
way, the ships ended up getting stuck in ice. They all faced a chilling death. But thanks to the ice, the bodies of the crewmen were preserved. In the 1980s and 1990s, researchers recovered the remains
Who's
100 people
Moro's
moved
daddy?
the island, and they found
I am
some
Daddy.
pretty terrifying things. It was thought that the crew resorted to cannibalism for their last couple of days. They had
Moro's
food aboard the
daddy,
ship,
I'm
but
so
many were sick from
bitch.
scurvy,
Yes,
tuberculosis,
I am.
hypothermia, and pneumonia, which
Punish
made
me.
them disoriented and wild. The crew were found with cut marks all over their body, indicating that their
baby
flesh
hoe.
was cut off the bone
Thanks.
and eaten. On other men, their bones had been cracked open and the bone
Here,
marrow was
here's my
feasted
number.
on.
Kicking off the list at number 10,
If you want
the
to fuck
beings. These
again,
words
just
came
let
from
me
someone
know.
who claimed to see hell during their close.
It's showtime. Critics everywhere agree. You're like,
Which one?
I give it a whole 15 days. And now,
it's the action-packed adventure you've been waiting for.
next skip.
Was called with death. We're off to a hot start. Literally, here we go. They said, I remember feeling terrified. It was so cold and I could not see anything below me, so it was hard to figure out what was going on exactly. As the beings poked me in closer, it seemed squishy and wet, as well as dark and cold. Meanwhile, the beings all around me were ripping and tearing at me.
Who
That's
am I?
horrible. I was thinking that I didn't
Daddy
like this at
Kim
all and wanted to go
Senpai.
back. I do not know what these beings
You get
are,
the
nor am I
why.
interested in finding out, more than fair. That sounds like the most
Yo,
horrifying
how
experience
wicked.
at this point, honestly. I'd
Yes,
rather take
Daddy.
nothingness at the end of a
Yo,
life, like
how-
some others talk about, than this. I can barely handle sleep paralysis demons,
I
let alone
promise I'll
demons
be a
from the other
good
side.
girl in bed,
Hard pass for
Daddy.
me.
Let me
Glad you're
fuck
okay,
you.
but hard pass.
I'll
In our number 9
promise
spot
I'll be a
today,
good
we have
girl.
The Dream. This
Let me
Reddit story
fuck.
comes from someone who really knows how to paint
Good.
quite a vivid
I know
picture.
it,
This
Daddy.
person actually experienced their close
Love
call
you.
after being
Love you
impaled
too,
with a
baby.
fillet knife. They go on to write, quote, I had tried to crawl up from my basement to phone 911, but I was so weak and every time I moved, I started bleeding harder. I remember passing out and having this sensation like I was leaving a dark room and moving outside into the sun. I stopped panicking and this feeling of pure contentment settled over me. I was floating over a garden where all of the plants were giving off light and I could see a huge amorphous shape above me that was made up of every color in existence, including colors I have never seen before and couldn't possibly describe. The shape seemed familiar, like I was a part of it, and it was beckoning to me and filling me with pure ecstasy and understanding as I looked at it. Then a man who looked an awful lot like Dream from the Sandman comics, which I was obsessed with at the time, walked over to me.
From close distance, right to the head, because they wanted to make sure that he was.
Whatever.
Hey, they've got some work for you. Do me a favor and step out of your cell. Just follow me. Oh, and by the way, we're authorized to exterminate any disobedient test subjects, so I recommend not doing it.
Facility is housing a bunch. He's loose?
Who's Moro's daddy? I am Daddy. Get them right, you hoe. You better. You must study that. Your mother's study queen. Yes, Daddy. Yes. Fuck off. Fuck off. Okay? Please fuck off. What should I watch now? What about Mosai G, the cunt? Mosai G. M-O-E. Here. Mosai G, the dog. Yeah, okay, cool. 2 days ago. Cool, nice. Okay, cool.
Units
dollars. Gold. US dollars. Gold.
Yeah,
Whatever you
but,
decide to trade, get access to a wide range of assets
Oh,
and highly
Daddy,
competitive
how?
spreads with Pepper
I
Stone.
know what, Daddy.
Yo, Tom, my boy, is that you?
Here we are.
Shake your hand, whip your hand if that's you.
Oh, I just literally lunged into you.
I get some more. Yo, Tom, are you here?
Go.
Oh. Oh, it's Daddy Queen.
I'm Mo Sargent. Hey, that's how we do it.
Which I smoke, then we'll fuck baby hoes. Damn baby, good girl, my little hoe.
From abandoned ghost towns right now to being locked up in the basement of haunted mansions, ghosts or spirits, we're telling her build this, to fighting for my survival on deserted islands.
I am Daddy.
And when I'm not pissing off demons in haunted mental asylums,
Yes,
I'm
I'm your
exploring
home.
underwater caves and using giant magnets to find treasures. Subscribe to My Crazy Life to become a part of the adventures. Yo, Tom, what boy?
Look at you.
Live a little.
Yeah, you're too hot for the goddamn good baby. Thanks.
Gizmo here. This is an SLS camera. This is like a professional setup here.
Here's my
You'll
little
know who
hoe.
later on, but when I said these
am-
girls gave them to me as a gift
Yes.
when I was in Atlanta. So this thing is supposed to, oh, wait, we're doing something. This thing is supposed to map out entities, and there's something on my boxing bag. We're literally punching the boxing bag. Look at that. No, I'm just seeing it. Funny. But what are the odds of that? Can you see that? There's something punching my boxing bag. What the hell?